Okay, so as always, my name is Atokowe Peter Wedam, and I am a lead presenter at Wedambu TV. I'd love to say a wonderful good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you, depending on what time you are watching this video and depending on what part of the globe you are watching us from. So, the much awaited presidential as well as the parliamentary primaries for the opposition National Democratic Congress, the NDC, came off yesterday in the Navrongo Central Constituency, just as it happened elsewhere in Ghana. And the Navrongo Central Constituency's own was largely conducted in a peaceful manner. Before we go into the details, let me let you know that the Upper East region in general had decided to retire 4 of its incumbent members of parliament. The members of parliament for the Bongo constituency, Honorable Edward Bauer has been down. Thomas Dalu, the incumbent member of parliament for the Parachana constituency, has also been kicked out, as well as the MP for Navrongo Central constituency in the person of Honorable Samson Tangwambu, also kicked out. And of course, in far away, Garu, the incumbent member of parliament, Honorable Robert Akuka Alazuga, has also been booted out. Now, Navrongo Central Constituency's elections polling station was the CK Tedam University for Science and Technology in the center of Navrongo, the university formerly known as the Navrongo campus of the University for Development Studies. All right, so yesterday, by the time Wedambu TV arrived at the Navrongo Central Constituency's polling center for the NDC's presidential as well as parliamentary elections yesterday, that was around 2:53 GMT, at which time the announcer calling the various zones within the constituency to cast their ballot, announcing that it was left with 1 hour, 8 minutes for the close of polls for the day. But before the close of the polls in the day, Wedambu TV was able to talk to some of the 4 candidates that were on the ticket for the leadership of the NDC in the Navrongo Central Constituency for the 2024 general elections. And first, we were able to meet up with the incumbent as at yesterday before the end of poll, the incumbent Honorable Samson Tangwambu, for an interview. And he was very hopeful of a win, and he said he was not just winning, but he was winning with a huge margin. But as it stands now, we all know the turnout of the results yesterday. Let's have a look at what Honorable Samson Tangwambu told Wedambu TV when we boxed into him at the polling grounds yesterday. Wedambu TV is privileged to be talking to the incumbent member of parliament for the Navrongo Central Constituency, the man we popularly call STC. Honorable, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
Yeah. Honorable, you have been watching proceedings since morning. So far, what can you report to us? Everything okay?
So far, so good.
Yeah. You've done work from the weeks leading to today. What do you anticipate?
Victory.
At the end of this day?
Victory.
Okay.
With a wide margin.
Great.
Absolute victory.
Woo! Yeah, Honorable.
Unless otherwise.
Okay. So, Honorable, I want to believe you have plans aftermath of this. You know, mostly when elections like this are done with, people feel like I don't belong to the winning team, I'm standing aloof. What are your plans put in place to carry along everyone?
This is the biggest obstacle. Navrongo is for NDC and NDC is for Navrongo. This is our only problem. Crossing this bridge, bet me, come 2024, there will be MVP in Navrongo.
Honorable, recently...
So just advise them not to put a candidate.
Great.
Because the victory of NDC as me, something again, as a retained MPs today.
Honorable,
no worry for any election after this election today.
Great.
Which I'm winning with a
unity,
a margin, a bigger margin.
Great. You recently put a very urgent question on the floor of Parliament regarding the Navrongo Sports Stadium. Are we hopeful to see you continuing to push that matter?
Let me just say that I'll be going back to Accra on Tuesday. I called the sports minister. He promised 30th of March or early April. But because of the promise, I'm locked up here. And I believe, even though I've not gone there to check, I'm sure they should be prepared to come to site, or they should be completing my stadium by now.
All right.
I go back to Accra on Monday or Tuesday, I'll be on him.
Yeah. It's a busy day, but what will be your words to the people of Navrongo, the larger Navrongo community?
I'm extremely grateful to the outcome, the way they came by the turnout, even though we are yet to get the figures and the way they've comported themselves. Navrongo is Navrongo, and Navrongo is very enlightened. We are pace setters. I'm very, very grateful and happy, and I wish that they return back home safely, so that at the end of the day we'll prepare for the bigger tax, just which is to clear the elephant from our constituency, so that Navrongo will become a safe seat for NDC forever.
Best of luck, Honorable.
Amen. Thank you.
So this was what Honorable Samson Tangwambu told Wedambu TV when we boxed into him whilst the polls were running. But earlier, before the polls started in the morning, we had another interview with the same Honorable Tangwambu Samson, and this is what he said in that earlier interview. Now, mind you, by this time we all know that Honorable Samson Tangwambu, with his 3 other unfortunate colleagues we mentioned, will be packing out of Ghana's legislature by the 2024 general elections. And let's take a look at that interview.
You went through the voting process. How would you describe it?
As I said, I went through the voting process. Fine. I voted by the queue, so I would say it's slow. It's okay. The arrangement is not bad.
You've seen the register, you are cool with it. And
I have no problem. This is an internal election, so even with the electoral commission, we're prepared to do our elections. We can even do photocopies and do our elections. But this one, so let me alone. This process, we can stand and everybody will stand by the MP and they'll count. Finish. It's all NDC matter.
We have watched what the Honorable Samson Tangwambu had to tell us, both at the beginning of the polls in the day and midway later in the day, whilst the polls were inching towards the close of voting in the day. Like I said we were able to talk to only 2 of the candidates on the ballot. Unfortunately, Wedambu TV could not get hold of the other 2 candidates in the day to talk to them, to gauge their mood and whatever they were expecting in yesterday's elections. Okay, so after the polls were closed and the Electoral Commission officers formally announced the result and declared the parliamentary candidate-elect in the person of Mr. Simon Aworugo, Wedambu TV was able to track him down to hear his victory remarks. And these were the words of your new parliamentary candidate for the National Democratic Congress, Navrongo Central Constituency. First of all, I'd like to say congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And your new status as the PC elect for the Navrongo Central Constituency. I know nobody goes into a contest to lose, but let me ask you, did you see this coming, going into the contest, that you'll get a win?
Oh yes, by the grace of God, I knew that if everything went well and the elections were conducted, and the message I have for the people of Navrongo Central was a message of hope, a message of newness, a message that looks into the future, that addresses the issues that confront the people of Navrongo Central. And so I knew that was going to be a winner for me.
Okay. Most often, people think that politicians just come and throw very juicy promises and pledges at them merely because they want their vote. What assurances do you give to the people of the Navrongo Central Constituency that having won, you will follow on your words?
I am not one of those politicians who throw words about just because they want to win to become a member of parliament. We need to understand that integrity, honesty is very important in politics. You're dealing with people, and trust is the key factor. And so if I go on my campaigns, I'm always very clear to tell them that I'll tell them things that I think are within my power and I can do. Those that are not within my power, I have always said that I will lobby for that help and that support to give to them. Remember, you don't just contest and win the seat and hope that you contest again. And if you lose, the people lose confidence in you, and that's it, you're ruined.
Honorable, I think this is your first attempt at the seat, right?
That's correct.
And you got it?
That's correct.
People went twice. I think one of the candidates. And here you are, first shot, and you made a kill. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good. It makes me happy. But you know, I am a Christian, and the Bible in Proverbs chapter 21 verse 31 says that a horse is prepared for battle, but victory comes from the Lord. I don't just throw myself into things. I consult God, I pray about it, I seek direction, and then if the way is clear for me, I go. And so I go into a contest knowing very well that I have the blessings of God and the way is clear for me to go.
Maybe this will be the last one. I know primarily the work of an MP is to legislate, make laws.
Sure.
But we also know that in our jurisdiction and our part of the world, MPs are development agents.
Sure.
What would be your immediate and priority developmental issues you'll be looking for stepping your foot in the Parliament of Ghana? That's under the presumption that you are going.
The first thing, of course, by the grace of God, I am going. What God has started, He will finish.
Yeah.
Employment is the biggest issue facing the people of our constituency. And so whether they are young people, whether they are elderly people, whether they are women, whoever they are, employment is the first thing. But once people have employment, they then have the capacity to be able to engage in economic activities and participate in all kinds of things. And so employment will be the first thing I would like to seek for the people. Formal, informal, whatever it is, we'll look for that. MPs lobby for projects, and so they are development agents. That is what I will do. I'll lobby for projects, whether they are roads, whether there is electricity, whether it is drinking water, and I know the doors to knock on to get what we want for the people. Many MPs have done it. I won't be the first. I've always said that I've got 4 MPs in Parliament that I understudy because I like what they do for their people, and I wish to do same for the people of Navrongo Central. Laws, yes. I'll be very loud in Parliament. I've said that if I go to Parliament and I don't speak within 3 months, if I come and contest again, they shouldn't vote for me.
And so these were the results as announced by the Electoral Commission by the close of polls. First, we look at the results that came out of the presidential voting for the day. In the Navrongo Central Constituency, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was able to take the lead with as much as 1,097 votes. Kojo Bonsu had 30 votes, whilst Kobina Dufo had 18 votes, and we had 4 rejected ballots. Let me take that again. John Mahama had as many as 1,097 votes, whilst Kojo Bonsu got 30 votes, Kobina Dufo got 18, and there were 4 rejected ballots. For the parliamentary results as declared by the Electoral Commission for the Navrongo Central Constituency elections yesterday, 13th May 2023, these were the results in order as the candidates appeared on the ballot paper. Samson Tangwambu had 447 votes. Lawyer Pius Avio had 135 votes. Mr. Simon Aworgo had 475 votes, whilst Dr. Jacob Parichuga had 88 votes. This one too recorded 2 rejected votes. I take that again. Honorable Samson Tangwambu had 447 votes. Lawyer Pius Avio had 135 votes, whilst Mr. Simon Aworgo had 475 votes. Dr. Jacob Parichuga had 88 votes and 2 were rejected. So while the counting was going on, only the parliamentary candidates, their agents, the security, the media, and other executives that were permitted to be in the hall were able to be within the precincts of the voting area to witness the counting of the ballot firsthand. And of course, party faithful and other observers who were not permitted to enter inside the inner perimeter of the collation area were hanging on the windows, keeping vigil on the counting process until the various winners for both the presidential as well as the parliamentary were declared. So whilst the counting was going on, this is how some party faithfuls decided to while away time outside of the voting area, enjoying and dancing to their famous NDC song. So like I stated earlier, the conduct of the NDC's parliamentary and presidential elections in the Navrongo Central Constituency was generally conducted in a peaceful manner, but one young man still managed to receive some slaps from a police female officer on duty. Whatever happened, I didn't see the start of it, but eventually the gentleman was whisked away, handcuffed, hands behind him, into this police pickup, and he was taken to the police station. A couple of minutes later, he was brought back to the polling area, but there was again a little commotion and he had to be taken away. However the case ended, I couldn't leave the monitoring of the elections proper to follow up on that. But that's just the low side of it. But other than that, like this agent of one of the candidates had to say, he said everything was going on smoothly, but I don't want to talk for him. Just take a look at what he told us. Yeah, so you've been observing proceedings this morning. What can you report to us? And your name first.
I think so far so good. Voting is going on smoothly. Initially, we're having one polling station. Now it's been divided into two, and I think that has fastened things. And then we think by 4 we should be able to finish, and then sorting and counting will take place.
Yeah. So meanwhile, Wedambu TV was able to track down the Constituency Elections Committee Chairman in the person of Mr. Emmanuel Alorigia, who also gave us a rundown of the number of delegates that were supposed to take part in the voting yesterday and the arrangement for transport for these delegates from wherever they are to the polling center, plus other things that the executives as well as the elections committee had to do to ensure that the NDC's conduct of the elections came off well in the Navrongo Central Constituency. Let's have a look at what the constituency's elections committee chairman told Wedambu TV. First of all, can you tell us the number of candidates, the presidential candidates that are on the ballot?
For the presidential candidates, with the withdrawal of Dr. Pamela before, we have only 2 now. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Honorable Kojo. But in regards to the parliamentary, we have 4 contestants.
Are you able to name them?
Yes. We have the incumbent Honorable Samson Tangobu Chiragia. We have Dr. Barichuga Jacob Anampara. Then we have Pius Abiu. We have Simon Awurugo. And then we have so there are 4. Yeah.
Okay. So what time did you schedule to start the polls this morning?
Yeah, so we scheduled to start at 9.
Okay.
And everything was ready at 9 o'clock.
You were able to start on exactly 9?
We started at 9.
There were no impediments?
There were no impediments from EC. Everything was ready. We even had to appeal for people to come and queue to vote.
Okay. Good. So I know mostly in processes like this, some people might not be happy with 1 or 2 things.
Yes.
Unfortunately, did you record any reservations raised by any of the 4 candidates, the parliamentary candidates on the ballot, or their agents for that matter?
No. So far as I'm concerned, the parliamentary candidates or the aspirants, they cooperated very well. We have no issue with them, and I haven't raised any objection.
So, you will be privy to the number of delegates that are voting. Are you able to share the numbers with us?
Yes. For the delegates from the branches.
Yeah. And how many branches?
We have about 134 branches.
Constituency-wide?
Yes.
134 branches.
And then we have the total number of delegates from the branches is 1,134.
1,134. Okay.
And then we have former appointees, like ministers, MCEs. So they constitute about 11.
Okay.
So if you add 11 to the 1,134, you know the number. So this is the number of delegates we have. Yeah.
And yes, of course, there was no way we will go to the grounds of the NDC's parliamentary and presidential elections inside the Navrongo Central Constituency without interacting with the delegates who were the kingmakers and the deciders of who leads the party in the 2024 general elections. And I have one of the delegates with me. He has already cast his vote, and I want to know what made him to cast his vote to the direction they did. My brother, your name please?
I'm Abakuri Emmanuel, chairman of Basna Denezri.
Okay. What made you to vote the way you voted. But before that, let me ask, you've been here from morning, it's now about 4 o'clock. What are your observations so far? Has everything been okay, or you have some observations you want to share with us?
Yeah, largely the organization has been good, so I want to commend the executive for a good job. Where I voted, yeah, largely my voting pattern has been influenced by the way the whole youth is yearning for something to be retained. He has been in Parliament for only 4 years. He has done the necessary, he has put in place the necessary structures for a takeoff. So I think it is right for us to retain him so that he will continue with all the things he intends to do for the constituency.
As a youth yourself, what will you expect from the eventual winner, and if the person eventually gets to Parliament? What do you expect for that MP to do for the youth of Navrongo? Across the sectors, from employment to education to sporting activities and stuff like that?
Yeah, first of all, I want the MP, the current MP, and hopefully he will win the 2024 elections. And my number one request from him is that he should try to get the youth engaged. Any activity, any type of job that will give the youth something to live on, he should try and do it for them. Be it in agriculture, in the formal sector, he should try to help the people gain employment in the various sectors of the economy. Yeah. And the second point is, the constituency is one of the deprived in the country. So I want him to put in place loan schemes to help those who are into business, and then help our younger ones who are in the various institutions of learning. I should try. A lot of them are finding it difficult. Yes, a lot of them are finding it difficult to pay their fees. Yeah, so we should try and help them.
Now, you realize that of the 4 parliamentary candidates on the ballot, none is a lady. Does that come to you as a worry?
Yeah, I'm a bit worried. But what can we do? We try a lot of the time to encourage the ladies to put themselves up for elections. I don't know. They feel shy, and some of the stereotyping we have about the ladies is discouraging them. We have ladies who are capable of manning these positions, but what we, the male counterparts, the kind of things we see about them, it's not encouraging. I think that is why they don't show up.
So going forward, what will you be telling your party leadership in the constituency to do so as to bring along your female counterparts? Mind you, the NDC, as you know, is not formed and run by only males.
I think there should be an affirmative action. There should be a period in our history where we just say this time a lady must go. All men should back up and allow a lady to go. And I think that is the way forward.
All right.
It is good for us to always have a lady. Anytime we have a male MP, the MC or the DC should be a female. And I think that is the way we should begin to look at things. It will help all of us. Because if you look at the demographic structures of the constituency, women form the largest portion of our population. But when it comes to leadership, you don't see, women are not visible. So I think anytime we have a female MP, the MC should be a lady.
Okay. We are done, but any last words to the people of Navrongo in general, not only NDC, regarding the political administration of our constituency?
Yes, first of all, I would like to tell all the delegates here that after this exercise, any of the candidates that is elected to represent us in 2024, we should all come together and support that candidate to win the general elections. Yes. Then to the entire voter population, I think NDC is the best way to go. We have seen the difference between NDC and MPP, and we can all attest to the fact that NDC is doing good. When it comes to education, agriculture, you name it, NDC has been far, far better than MPP.
Thank you very much. You realize that the candidates on the parliamentary ticket, there are 4, as we know, and all of them are men. Does it worry you that there is no single woman, one of your sisters or aunties, participating on the ticket to represent the party for the Navrongo Central Constituency? Does it worry you?
Yes, it's a big worrying. The women in Navrongo here, they feel reluctant. I think they are not that much encouraged to come into politics, especially in the ticket of NDC. When you observe things, last MPP promises, there was a woman. Yeah. But currently, this NDC promises, actually there is no lady among them. Yeah. I think that should be the fact that they are not encouraged, they are not motivated to come in the ticket of NDC. Yeah. That's there. So, well, there is much the constituency needs to be done, because looking at things, women, if you like, there's a saying that if you educate a woman, you educate the entire nation. Yeah. Well, so women will have that kind of heart, that loves, that care for people. I think they will not go there and sit and look at the children lacking water to drink and all sort of things. Yeah. But looking at things, we need to do more to bring them on board. That's what my observation. Yeah. But especially in the ticket of NDC, there's no woman. But looking at the other political parties, there was women who contest and they actually lose. Okay. Yeah, so there is the need for us to encourage them to also come on board. Okay. I think it will help.
Yeah, last one. You are a youth. Yeah. What do you think the youth in the Navrongo Central Constituency need most from our politicians at this point in time, 2023 going forward?
In fact, we need a lot. We are lucky behind, and we need a lot. When it comes to potable water, when you go to the rural areas, especially it's not even rural areas, but they lack potable water to drink. Our bad roads are there. We have bad roads.
I can see that coming from town to UDS.
Yes, we struggled before we came here. The place was muddy, early dawn, because of the downpour yesterday. Yeah, the place was muddy, and then, in fact, there is a lot. If I stand here to mention, they will break us.
Can you say something about your Navrongo Sports Stadium, which is never seen completion?
In fact, it's a worrying. It's sad hearing from you to mention that sports stadium, whilst we've been head of so many processes. Even our current incumbent MP, who stood in front of me, mentioned that stadium name, appeal for the sports minister. We had promises of coming to complete it over and over and over. Yeah. And when you go there, it's still intact. It still remains there intact. Nothing is done. So in fact, the youth is worried about it. Actually, it's one of the things that some of the candidates used to motivate the youth, and they are willing to come here in time to cast their vote, knowing very well that the promises that they made, they will still behind them and deliver on them in time so that we will benefit from them.
Please, your name again?
Well, I prefer calling me Karadam.
Resulting from yesterday's presidential as well as the parliamentary polls of the NDC in the Navrongo Central Constituency, one thing has started to prick the minds of the constituency's people as well as the general public. And this is the issue. The issue of political parties as well as members of parliament refusing to continue or carry on with projects that had been started by their predecessors. This is nothing new, and that's always the worry of many communities as well as a number of Ghanaians and citizens across the country and across the various constituencies in the country. Now, this project rolling on your screens is a library complex that was started by the late and then former MP of the Navrongo Central Constituency, Honorable Joseph Kofi Ada. May his soul continue to rest in peace. Now, this project is situated close to the Navrongo War Memorial Hospital, and then heading towards the Catholic Church. You'll find this project there. As I speak with you, houses or residents around the vicinity of this abandoned project have turned the area into a defecation ground as well as dumping of refuse, as you can see from the videos rolling. Now the fear of some constituents in the Navrongo Central Constituency is that will the incoming MP continue with these projects which have been started by his predecessors. Complex. I don't know the arrangement under which the library complex started, whether it was Honorable Joseph Kofi Ada's own project, personal project he was doing for the constituency, or it was a state-funded project. I don't know. But what I know is that this is a project that was aimed for the public good by the late Honorable Joseph Kofi Ada. And we have seen that no single block has been laid on it after Honorable Joseph Kofi Ada exited the Navrongo Central seat. Honorable Samson Tangwambu is almost also packing out of Parliament, and we didn't see anything done to the progression of that project. Now, this other project that you are seeing right now on your screens is a project that has been started by Honorable Samson Tangwambu. I am told this was supposed to be a vocational or skills training center sited in the Noxonia enclave around the vicinity of the Basina Primary and Basina Junior High schools in the Navrongo Central area. Now, the fear and question is that will the incoming MP for the Navrongo Central constituency continue with this project that has been started by his immediate predecessor, should he get a nod to represent the people of Navrongo in the Ghana's legislature from the 2024 general elections? Will he continue the project, or will this one also be abandoned like the Honorable Joseph Kofi Ada's library complex that has been left to rot? Your guess is as good as mine, but we'll see what the future holds for us. And with the polls closed for the day, election results formally announced by the Electoral Commission officers of the day, these were the scenes at the CK Tedam University for Science and Technology in Navrongo, where the opposition NDC held its presidential and parliamentary primaries on 13th May 2023. Enjoy the scenes. My name is Peter Wedam, and I'm always a lead presenter at Wedambu TV. Please subscribe to our channel so that whenever we post our latest video, you will be among the first to get it. Peace.